Okay, today we're looking at adding re to these root words. So re means to do again. So we've got reply, remove, record, remorse, research, response, require, review, remember and rearrange. So it's all about words with this re prefix on them. So reply, we've got the y at the end making the long I sound. And remove, we've got the E making that O into a long sound. Record, we've got the R control vowel OR in there, and the same as in remorse. Now here we've got the SE making the sound. In research, we've got the R control vowel EAR, and because that is a long sound, we put CH after it, after a long vowel sound. Response, we've got the SE making the sound again at the end of the word. Require, now you know whenever you write a Q you must follow it with a U, and we've got the E making the previous vowel I make its long sound. In review, we've got the IE in there helping to make that U sound. Remember, you've got the ER on the end for the In rearrange, we've got a short vowel for at, and therefore you're doubling the consonant after that. The GE at the end is making the J sound, not the G sound. It's making the G make its soft sound. Okay, let's go through and look at what these words mean now. So, reply means to answer to someone or something. Remove means to take away. Record is evidence of something that's happened in the past. It's usually written. We usually record things down on paper, but it could be through sound as well, or pictures. Remorse is when you experience deep regret over something, or you're sorry for something. Research is when you investigate or find out information about something. A response is a reply to a question. Require is a need, something you really have to do, you need to do. A review is when you check something over again, or you look over it again to make sure it's correct. Remember is when you recall something from the past. And rearrange is when you swap things around. I'll leave you to get on with the rest of that page. In these words, we're looking at the prefix re, and we've got reply with the long I sound at the end with the Y, remove with the E making the previous O make its long sound, record, you've got an R controlled vowel in it, remorse, you've got another OR for the R controlled vowel, research, you've got an R controlled vowel, response, you've just got that SE ending, which you've got in a couple of others too. Require, the E's making the I make a long sound. Review, you've got the U sound at the end of it. Remember, you've got the sound. And rearrange, you've got that GE making the J sound at the end. Now record could be both record and record, so just be aware of that. You've got a crossword to do. You know how to do this. There are the clues going across and down. Cross off the clues that you've filled in, that you've been able to link to a word at the top of the page. Down here, you have to rewrite the list word and then find the words that mean the same, the synonyms for each of those list words. So just highlight them if you like, and or circle them, and you finish the page. Our words today are reply, remove, record or record, remorse, research, response, require, review, remember, rearrange. So in these words we're adding the prefix re to them all. So when you get down to this verb family section, just remember that if you have a consonant before the Y, you change the Y to an I before you add the ES. But when you're adding the ing, you can't change the Y to an I because we never ever have double I in an English word. It just doesn't happen. We do still need that sound that the Y makes, so we have to leave it in, even though we don't like Y's in the middle of words. So we can't have repling, we have to have replying, so you have to leave that Y in. Now when you're adding the ED to, you change the Y to an I before you add the ED. Now on remove, you've got remove, removes, removing, removed. Now, E goes away when in comes to stay. So just remember that because you've got that coming through a couple of times. Now down the bottom we've got to fill in the gap with a list word or extension. So you're going to use these words. You may have to change their formal structure so that they sound correct and they appear correctly in each of these sentences. They could be nouns, verbs, adjectives or adverbs, so think carefully before you write the word. Now down the bottom you have to add re to these base words to form new words. So we've gone beyond the list and we're extending into some other words that commonly start with re. Now the trick is, if a word starts with e, you always put a dash after the re, so you put a dash before you write the word that starts with e. So re-energize, you'd have re-energize. So just make sure that you do remember that as you're writing those words in. It only applies to the one starting with the word starting with an e. Today we're talking about helping verbs, which are auxiliary verbs. So we've got am, are, be, being, been, can, could, do, does, did, has, have, had, is, may, must, might, shall, should, was, were, would. We put them into alphabetical order and into similar groups to make it easier for you to locate them. And the different usage will depend on the different tenses that you'll need to use them to fill in each sentence. So all you have to do is fill in the gaps with a helping verb. Then down the bottom you have to find the verb in each sentence first of all and circle it. We've done the first one for you. And then underline the auxiliary verb or verbs that work with that verb. So the first one's been done for you. So you can see Roger had been is the auxiliary verb, given the funds to research, so given and research are the verbs, the behaviour of dolphins.